Hello everyone, this is Cyan here. Welcome to another video review of Fiio X7. It is the most anticipated digital audio player of this year. This is Fiio's flagship digital audio player. So Fiio's line includes the original Fiio X3, the Fiio X5, which came after X3, then came the second generation X3, the second generation X5, and the Fiio X1, the budget-friendly player. And then after years of waiting, Fiio came up with the X7, the most premium digital audio player. This is the first Android operating player from the Fio's list of audio players. I have reviewed the Fiio X1, X3 second generation and X5 player before, and thanks to Paul from HeadFi and also Fiio for providing me the opportunity to review this Fiio X7, the most anticipated player of this year. A brief background on Fiio. Fiio is a Chinese company specialized in manufacturing amps and DACs for audiophile community since 2007. They forayed into the digital audio player market with their X3 digital audio player in 2013, and it was a big hit among the audiophile users. It was cheap and it delivered what even the top-notch players were delivering, with all audio formats supported. They use similar digital to audio conversion components found in Astle and Kern series, which is considered to be the premium of digital audio players, and made a player which was cheaper than an iPod and delivers top-notch audiophile quality sound. It was an instant hit among the music lover community. In the initial stage of the DAP market, there were only few big players who were doing premium DAPs, notably Astle and Kern. Now Astle and Kern's focus have changed more towards premium expensive DAPs, where the fractional sound improvement is not worth 3,500 US dollars. You know which DAP I'm talking about. Is the AK380 Astle and Kern's premium digital audio player. I'm happy to see how Fiio is still producing premium DAPs within the reach of mass consumers, with almost offering all the functionalities as found in the AK380. But the DAP market is getting some serious competition from portable digital audio components and amps such as the Chord Mojo, which we will see in this video comparison review, how Chord Mojo compares with Fiio X7. And also the mobile phone community have started producing audiophile graded mobile phones like LG V10 and Marshall London. But don't get this DAP wrong. It has few innovative features up the sleeve. We have seen a lot of Android-based DAPs in the market. A prominent of them is the Sony ZX2, which I've reviewed before in this channel. One of the major issues I had with the ZX2 is the Android bloatware, which I had to deal with when I'm not interested in the Android features. I'm buying a DAP to use its pure audio technicality, not the Android features of checking mail and all, which I have my phone for that. It resulted in poor battery life and slow UI. Fiio X7 has two modes: a general Android mode, where the plethora of Google services will be available, and the other pure music mode, where the system will focus on purely the music application. The gear used as part of this review are the AKG K3003i in-ear monitor. That's the primary earphone used for this review purpose. Is the Beyerdynamic T5P, which is the closed back 32 ohm headphone. The X7 should have no problem driving this headphone because it's meant for portable mobile devices. Then in the review, I've also tried using a higher impedance headphone over here. So we can see we have the Beyerdynamic DT1770 Pro and the Sennheiser HD800. I know these are not supposed to be used for this particular IM module based Fiio X7, but I just wanted to give them a try to see till what volume actually these headphones can be satisfied. For comparative review, I've used the Chord Mojo as the portable DAC amp for trying out how the sound quality is with the Fiio X7 digital audio player. Unfortunately, I don't have any DAP with me to try out and compete with the Fiio X7. So I had my iPhone 6s Plus and the Chord Mojo to have a comparative review with the Fiio X7. Now we'll have a look at the packaging and accessories of this Fiio X7. So it's a standard Fiio package we have seen in the other digital audio players of their lineup. It's a decent packaging with the digital audio player details on the front, which has the nice picture. Apparently this picture will change in the production unit. So just let's have a look at quickly at the box. It just contains some usual details about the specs, the model name, what it can support, the operating system. It's an Android one. Also, just to make sure this is a review unit, the production unit might have different sort of information, but this is kind of final what Fiio was planning for. So it is quite elegant packaging for a premium digital audio player. Also forgot to mention that it supports DSD playback, and it has 32-bit 384 kilohertz resolution support as well. It has the nice Fiio logo up there. Some manual in Chinese language and English as well. There we go. We have the player over there wrapped in a nice plastic clothing. We'll keep the player aside and look at what other accessories are there. It has a nice foam covering for shipping purposes so that the player is not harmed. That's the box where we have all the accessories. Inside the box we can see there is a digital out coaxial cable. There is a USB charging cable for charging the player as well as data transfer. There are some extra screen protectors. And this is the interesting bit. Since this is a modular based digital audio player where you can connect extra modules, amp modules, this is a screwdriver to open the amp modules. We'll see that later in the video how we can disengage the amp module and connect another amp module. Fiio has said that there will be a transparent case provided in the final production unit. It is a clear case, but in this case the review unit doesn't have any case, so unfortunately I can't show you that. Generally what we have observed is the digital audio player always comes with fully protected it has screen protector, then it also comes with cases, so you're all set. You don't need to invest on any extra production related stuff. Next we are going to look at the player itself. The player is beautifully made. It is made from CNC machined 6061 graded aluminium and has beveled angles and diamond cut edges to give it a nice mirrorish look. The chassis is really solid. It's fully metal, as you can see. There is a little bit hump at the back, if you can see over here. As I was mentioning before as well, that the Fiio X7 is modular. The Fiio X7 has two components. It has this main player unit, the digital audio player, and this part is the modular component. This one is the amplifier section. In this case, this is the IEM amplifier, but as Fiio said, they are producing full-blown amplifiers for like HD 800 kind of headphones, and we don't have it for review, but the idea is these are modular in nature so that we can have balance-based amplifier or full-blown amplifiers. We have seen this kind of modular design from Hi-Fi Man HM901, where it supports different types of cards. Also, recently AK380 have modular extra accessories. I would say it's not modular, and extra accessories where you can buy amplifier modules separately. The total weight of this digital audio player is 220 grams. It is a bit on the heavier side compared to your portable phones and other devices. Quality screams from every corner of this device. It looks like a futuristic device and can be mistaken for a mobile phone due to this large screen on the front. This is Fio's the most biggest DAP yet compared to its lineup in terms of the size. The bottom 25mm section is the amplifier section as I was telling. Now I'll do a comparison with how the size compares with a iPhone 6s Plus over here and the Chord Mojo to give you an idea of the portability concerns people might have. In terms of its thickness, you can see that the Mojo is the thickest over here, whereas the Fiio X7 is the next one in line, and then comes the iPhone 6s Plus. So I have the Chord Mojo on the left hand side, the Fiio X7 here, and the iPhone 6s Plus. You can see the size comparison among each other. Now we'll look at the physical interfaces of this player. In the front face, you'll be greeted with a fairly large IPS TFT 480 by 800 resolution screen. The screen occupies the entire front section of this device. There are no physical or optical home button as we have seen it in the Astral and Kern players. So it uses the Android software navigation buttons for navigating across the UI of the player. It is a decent screen. It is visible outdoors, but the screen is very much not fingerproof. As you can see, it already is showing the various fingerprints on the screen. The screen captures dirts and smudges very well, so we have to keep it clean all the time. But luckily there is a screen protector on top. Looking at the left hand side, we can see there are physical buttons over there. So this is the power button over here, which also acts as a screen on and off, and also a volume rocker over there. On the right hand side, you can see very similar layout, and you can see they're asymmetrical, so both the sides look exactly same. Why is that? Apparently Fiio had planned a second screen on the back, allowing the user to change the orientation and still keep the same button layout, but the second screen was discarded from the final production design. But what Fiio claims is the user can remap the button configuration on the left and the right hand side based on whether the user is left-handed or right-handed. But unfortunately, I couldn't test this feature as I think it's not available in the software yet. I'm hoping Fiio will push a software update to enable that. So on the right-hand side, in the similar button layout, we have the play pause over here, and then we have the track change, the track forward and the reverse track over there. On the top we have the line out and the coaxial out. On the bottom we have the micro USB charging cable port and the headphone output. On the left hand side we also got the micro SD card. And as I was telling, these are the screws to detach the amp module on both the sides, and that's what the screwdriver is for. Now we're going to look at the storage of this device. So internally it has an NAND flash storage of 32 gigs capacity. As you can see, I'm scrolling through the Android storage layout part where it shows how much total space is there. Also, the micro SD card can support up to the 200 GB SanDisk card. In this case, I put in a 200 GB card and it works fine. Fiio has written in the literature that it supports up to 128 GB. They couldn't test further, but in this case we can see that the 200 GB card works fine and I can play the songs clearly without any issues. The player also has a nice blue streak of light. As you can see, it looks like a futuristic blue light in the dark. Sometimes it's annoying when you're sleeping with this blue big light flashing on your eyes. I prefer the blue tiny small LED light in the Fiio X5 2nd generation. That's a more prominent one and it works well for me. Sorry, I had to make the room dark to show you the light, the blue light over there. As you can see, it's quite nice design where the light is resting. So in terms of the wireless interfaces, the player supports Wi-Fi for 802.11bgn type Wi-Fi network. And the reason it supports Wi-Fi is for wireless streaming, so that you can put in Tidal or Spotify, your third-party streaming apps, and stream from the internet. It also supports Bluetooth with 4.0 EDR streaming. Unfortunately, I don't have any Bluetooth earphones with me to test this out. But it doesn't support the Bluetooth aptX technology. Fiio said that due to the high licensing cost, they couldn't go for it. And also they think that the consumers don't use that feature that much, which I think is a fair assumption. Even I haven't tried a Bluetooth aptX headphone in my life. Now looking at the internal specs, it has a SoC which is by Rockchip and it is RK3188. It is a fairly decent SoC they have chosen, and Fiio said they have got really good support from them. So in terms of the DAC, which is the most critical part of all these digital audio players, obviously it depends how it is implemented. It's using the ES9018S 32-bit Saber DAC. It is considered to be one of the most premium DACs in the portable world. It can support up to 32-bit 384 kilohertz audio frequencies. It has 8 output channels. So what it means is it can give 4 times the power of output in each of the channels of the headphone, because it's a 2-channel stereo output. The amp chip used is the OPA1612, which is based around the 1612 buffer. It is the same chip which they have used in the Fiio X5 2nd generation as well. The processor is a quad-core A9 Cortex which runs at 1.4 GHz clock speed. It has 1 GB RAM inside. This initially seemed to be a concern to me because it's an Android powered device and all Android devices are very memory hungry. But Fiio claims to have blocked unnecessary apps and services. Fiio have used custom whitelist blocking to block heavy social media apps. This resulted in a pure audiophile experience rather than an Android-driven experience. We have seen this issue in the Sony ZX2, where the Google services and other extra apps were reducing the battery performance as well as the overall user experience due to the slowness and sluggishness of the UI. But Fiio has said that 1 GB RAM is more than enough to be just a pure audiophile player. In terms of the battery, Fiio claims it to be 9 hours playback with 4 hours of full charge. It takes about 4 hours to fully charge the device. I'm getting about 8.5 hours after a full recharge in pure audio mode. We'll go into these modes in detail because these are the software features we're going to look up next. As promised, I wanted to show you the amp module part after disengaging the amp module here. In this case, this is a IEM amp module over here. I've disengaged the unit using the screws and the screwdriver which came with it. So the Fiio is claiming that they will be producing more amp modules which are balanced or more powerful amplifier based modules to support large impedance headphones. I think it uses a proprietary card similar to how we have seen in the Hi-Fi Man series, where the amp module is plugged into the device. Now we are going to look at the UI features. The boot up is quite fast compared to other Android devices we have seen before. It is running Android 4.4.4, which is the KitKat build. In this case, this particular review, the firmware is 1.41 beta. It has been supplied from Fiio for review purpose. This is first Fio's venture into the Android-based app. Astel and Kern and Sony all have used Android OS in their DAPs, while the Astel and Kern went and fully customized the Android experience and put their own skin on top. But for the Sony's case, it was more of a pure Android experience with Sony's extra players and softwares on top of it. As part of this review, I couldn't use the Google Play Store as the services were not available. I'm guessing the future software update will fix this issue. As you can see, this is the home screen of the player's UI. So we have the standard Android widgets, which is the clock, the gallery over there. But there are few interesting things Fiio has created. There's something called the Fiio Marketplace, where you can download extra third-party apps from the Fio's Marketplace. Since the Google Play services were down, I couldn't use the Google Play Store. But using the Fio's Marketplace, you can download Fio's supported set of apps. Over here, a couple of Chinese players and utility apps. There's the Onkyo HF Player app. Then you have the Power Amp, Spotify, Tidal, and also a SwiftKey keyboard app. One downside of this is I noticed the apps available in the Fiio marketplace are of older versions. Like for example, Spotify, which I downloaded, has a more recent version into the Google Play Store, but I couldn't update it since the Google Play services are not working. The next one the Fiio has created is their own technical support app, which is pretty nice. So I'll come to the firmware update at the last. So you have the FAQ, then the quick start guide, and a couple of shortcut links to Fiio's own website, Fiio's forum, and also Fiio's link on HeadFi. That's pretty nice. So the firmware update, you can actually install firmware directly by putting the zip file into one of the storage devices, like the internal or the external, and then you can select the zip file and install it directly. That's a pretty handy feature. Also, Fiio supports over-the-air updates. So in this UI, swiping from the top left shows the notification drawer over here. If you're playing a song, for example, let me play a song here. So when you're playing a song, the notification summary shows the song name, the play, pause, the quick shortcut options. Swiping from the right shows the Android system menu. So it has the brightness, settings, standard, Wi-Fi connection, the auto rotate, the battery life, and audio settings over there. So let's have a look at the audio settings menu. In the audio settings, it supports inline remote. Also the multifunctional output, which is on the top. You can choose what it supports. You can support the SPDIF or line out over there. It has two gain modes, low and high. Since it's using an IEM amp module, I didn't feel the gain mode as that much of difference, but I think it's about 6 decibels gain difference between the low and high. Then the channel balance. Next, we'll come to one of the promising features of this DAP is these various modes. One is called the Android mode and one is called the pure music mode. So we are in the Android mode where you can see that I have the music streaming apps and a couple of apps. I can browse the internet, etc. Now let's go to the pure music mode. So when you're in the pure music mode, there is no more home screen. There is no app drawer. You can't see the list of apps over there. You're purely in the music mode, which I think is fairly good option for me especially. I don't want to see other Google services. If I'm using this as purely as my portable digital audio player, I have my mobile phone to do that. Now let's have a look at the Fiio Music app. So it's a very pretty simple app. We have seen similar music app structure into the previous Fiio lineup. So we'll just start from the settings. We have the settings on the left hand side. Like basic, I'm not going through all of them in details. It has scan for songs, media library update, UI personalization. There's nothing much to be notable here. They're the standard settings you'll find in any digital audio players. I can click on that music sign to go into a specific current playing window. So let's go and pick a song. So this is the folder browser. And then here I have the list of music over here, the artist, the albums, the genre, and that's the folder viewer. So there is this internal storage and SD card. In the SD card, I have these DSD songs over here. So for example, I'll go and choose Thriller. And as you can see, the song comes up over here. Click on this now playing and you go into the now playing window. Click on the music icon on top, you go back to that home screen. This is one annoying feature, like if I'm playing songs from my folder view and if I click on that music window, I want to stay in that particular folder view, not just jump back to the home and again go through back and back and back. So what I mean is if I'm in Thriller, if I click on this window, I'm expecting to see the rest of the songs in the Thriller album. Here is the album art area. I don't have any for this. The equalizer is a 10 band equalizer. It's not parametric, but it's a decent one. But generally for me, I keep all the equalizers as off. So you get a couple of presets over here. Then you have the standard Bluetooth streaming to mark it as favorites. Also, you can add it to playlist over here. And you can repeat or loop the song. This is pretty standard playback features. And there's the search over here. So in this case, so for example, I was just trying to find the album Come Away With Me by Norah Jones. Then I can see the song on top and there's the album over there. But when I select the album, it starts from the first song of the album. But what I would expect is to give me the list of songs in that album view. That would be pretty handy. Hopefully Fiio can do that in the next software update. Also, there are a couple of other features over here. You can go to the current playlist over here. Recently played, the most recently played songs. And then you have the most played songs over here. That's the music app over here. Let's just go and have a quick look at the now playing. So you can double tap on the artwork part to load lyrics. You can't load lyrics from the internet. It's not supported yet, as mentioned by Fiio. Then it shows the song details. So it's a DSD song. It shows the bitrate, etc. You can choose the info button where you'll go into the details of all the tags for the song, ID tags for the song. So that was a quick overview of the UI features of the Fiio app, which is very standard Fiio music player app. I didn't see any software glitch on this. The app is running quite fine. I had loaded huge libraries of songs of more than 10,000 songs and it coped up fine without any stuttering or struggling. So that's good. And the remaining features are all the standard Android features you can find on even in any Android devices. I like this music mode so that if you feel that your device is a bit sluggish because it's loading and running other Android services, you can go into this pure Android music mode and enjoy the music as it is. Now coming to the final part of the review, which is the sound quality, which matters the most because this is a digital audio player. So we have talked about how it feels, how the packaging is like, how's the software experience like. Now the next thing and the final thing which everyone wants to know is how it compares in sound quality with other portable devices in the market. I don't have any other digital audio players over here with me, but I remember the Fiio X5's second generation sound signature when I reviewed it last time. When comparing the 16-bit or MP3 files, it sounds almost similar to that. The only complaint I had with the Fiio X5 was I think I felt the treble was a bit less, but it looks to be adjusted and the sound signature is very engaging for this sake. Now, when comparing these three devices side by side in a blind test, I used the Onkyo HF player on the iPhone 6s over here, and I tried the headphone output directly from the iPhone 6s and separately through the Chord Mojo and then the Fiio. The songs I've used for the MP3 or AAC are the Adele's latest album, also the Adele's live concert album at Royal Albert Hall, and the results among them is I couldn't actually make it out in the blind test. Even the iPhone 6s Plus sounded exceptionally good. The Mojo was tad better in terms of the overall sound stage. The Fiio X7 and the iPhone 6s Plus sounded almost similar when listening to MP3 songs or even 16-bit songs. The difference started to occur when I was listening to the DSD songs. So when I was playing DSD songs through the iPhone 6s, it is converting into PCM and then outputting it. And when I compare it directly with Fiio X7, that's like a big difference. The depth and the sound stages was not there for iPhone 6s, where the Fiio X7 depth and sound stage was really, really good and engaging. I remember the ZX2's engaging sound, and it felt almost similar to that. I'm really happy the Fio's DSD playback has really upped the game over here. And it definitely sounds way better than the Fio X5 when playing DSD songs. Now, when playing the DSD songs, in this case, it's playing 1,000 Years by Sting. I tried the same song through Mojo over here, which is again a direct DSD playback without any conversion. So, in comparison with the Mojo, I felt the Fio X7 to be more engaging when playing DSD songs. The tonality or musicality of the song was much more prevalent on the Fiio X7 than the Mojo. The Mojo was more bit technical in nature. The soundstage didn't feel that deep as compared to the X7. Overall, when playing the 24-bit songs, I tried the Taylor Swift's latest album over there, also the Coldplay's latest album in 24-bit. The soundstage was alright. I couldn't make that much difference. The DSD one, as I said, in Fiio was a bit better. I would say a way tad better than the Mojo was. But in 24-bit files, I couldn't make it much difference. The treble was sounded bit less on the Fiio X7, but the treble was a bit better on the Mojo over here. The sound quality when listening through the streaming services, in this case I've tried Spotify only. I felt the iPhone 6s Plus sounds better than the streaming services, not sure why. I tried the same song through both the devices, and the iPhone 6s sounded a bit better in terms of its treble or the overall sound tonality. Not sure why. I've set the same settings to both as extreme quality when playing the music. I couldn't play Tidal over here as I don't have an account. Now moving to the last section, which is the amplification section. How this amplification modules does with IEM. So with the AKG K3003i, it was almost pitch black, which I liked it a lot. The Fiio X5 second generation had a faint hum to it, but this one doesn't have that. I really like that module, really well done in producing a deep, quiet background over there, which is really engaging. I really like that. But when in terms of connecting even a 32 ohms Beyerdynamic T5P, I had to pump up the volume to about 80 to 90 to get a decent amount of sound amplitude from the device. And when trying HD 800 or DT 1770, I have to go to about 100 or even 110, still couldn't satisfy the sound quality coming out from those headphones. So that's where the Mojo actually outshines this particular device. It has a good audio tonality, almost comparable audio quality, but in terms of amplification, this does the job. It's a very versatile portable DAC and amp. So the Fio's portable amp module, which is supposed to come out, which is for the more stronger, hard to drive headphones, can solve this issue. Not sure here. So far, I just have the IEM module over here, but it's the total amplitude out of this is not sufficient or enough even to drive a 32 ohms headphones. The AKG one is fine, so that's all good. Now the conclusion part. The question is whether I'll buy this player or not. Based on what I've tested, the sound is really good. It is sounds very similar to the Fio's X5 second generation. I couldn't actually make it out when playing 16-bit MP3 files, but when I moved to DSD based files, I could see a huge improvement due to the DAC chip in this module, which is a 32-bit DAC. Otherwise, if you're mostly listening to 16-bit or even 24-bit bitrate files, I think it's even your iPhone 6s is fine to play those, and they sound almost equally similar. And since I listen to some really hard to drive headphones, which is the HD 800 or the Beyerdynamic DT 1770, I would prefer Chord Mojo because it's more portable in nature. I can take it anywhere. I can feel like the battery life is very similar, about 8 to 9 hours compared to that, and I can have all my songs in my iPhone, and when playing DSD I can connect this device, or when I'm listening to big over-the-ear headphones, this thing drives really well compared to the Fiio X7. So Fiio X7 costs $649 US, and I think it's a terrific player for that price point. But again, if you already have a portable DAC amp and you just listen to 16-bit or 24-bit audio files, I think staying with an iPhone or a decent mobile DAC solution is good enough. You don't need to upgrade to a Fiio player. Even Fiio X5 second generation is really good if you're listening to 16-bit files or MP3 related files. But if you're a hardcore audiophile listener listening to DSD or DXD set of files, then I'd recommend the Fiio X7 over ZX2 or even definitely the Astral and Kern players. The DXD sound quality from this player is truly astonishing, and it beats the Chord Mojo, I think, by hands down. Thank you folks for watching the review for Fiio X7. Thank you.